Imagine if I told you that Jaguar Wright had just released the kind of receipts that have the potential to ruin a marriage once more. And it's not some recycled gossip or beast R&B shit this time. No, Tiny's secret hubby is this person. I broke down live on TV, crying, "I lost everything. What the hell is going on in the Harris household?" For years, fans believed Tiny and T had previously survived every controversy possible. This man, the so-called family guardian, was not meant to be known to the world. Threesomes, NDAs, litigation, cheating rumors, and those notorious friendship parties that people still talk about. Jaguar Wright, the self-described industry truth teller, has published what she refers to as the final confession. Thus it appears that we were only viewing the trailer, and it's horrible, to put it mildly, such as voice notes, career-ending screenshots, and a wedding certificate that purports to link Tiny to a person she secretly married while still residing under Tar's roof. And it doesn't end there either. Hush money, hidden properties, and a leaked group conversation that purports to show that everyone from Candy Barus to Tamar Braxton knew all along are all discussed. Was Tiny leading a double life then? Or is Jaguar once more using everyone as a prop to get attention? Hold on tight, because this is not just a messy story, it's a volcanic one, and we're breaking down every twisted, surprising aspect tonight on Gossip Spill Vibe. It began similarly to prior celebrity chaos nights, a woman with rage in her eyes, and a mission in her heart, a strange Instagram live, and a shaky camera. You mean Jaguar. The music industry shudders at the very mention. She is similar to that friend that is unable to keep secrets. However, her secrets are accompanied with timestamps, names, and screenshots. Celebrities don't sleep when she goes live. And not just anybody was the target this time. It was Tiny Harris, who was formerly renowned for her devotion, gentle demeanor, and ride-or-die marriage. Up to now, Jaguar's standard line opened the live stream. "If I don't have evidence, I don't speak." Then, with a sly smile, she took out her phone and dropped what she described as a document that represented divine justice. The result was complete anarchy. She purported to have a marriage certificate that linked Tiny to Marcus Fielding, an unknown figure in the entertainment industry. It was around the same time in 2017 that I went on tour, yelling "family first" in every interview. In a matter of minutes, blogs went viral. Every timeline was filled with screenshots of Jaguar's live stream. While still seeing Tip, Tiny got married to someone else. This isn't possible. Once more, Jaguar is lying. The receipts, however, appeared official. A signature that uncannily resembled Tiny's was present, along with a county stamp. Then Jaguar revealed the truth. To others who listened to it frame by frame, the voice note of a guy speaking, "You know you my wife, right?" sounded serene, southern, and uncannily familiar. Fans began to make connections. Old pictures of Tiny on enigmatic trips came back to life. There were places I never saw. An additional comment read, "Marcus Fielding was her security detail. I saw him backstage during the Escape tour." Suddenly, the timeline turned into a full-blown FBI forum. Everyone became an investigator. Meanwhile, Ted was quiet. Too quiet. No posts, no comments, no live. One fan wrote, "Hold up. That trip to Cabo in 2018, that wasn't girls' night. That was a honeymoon." Other comments read, "Marcus Fielding was her security detail." His silence was more powerful than any denial, and Jaguar knew it because she is a chaotic conductor. "Mid-leave," she said. "He would be talking if I was lying." However, he isn't, because he is aware. Those who had been following Tiny and TY's turbulent marriage weren't shocked. More public crises had been avoided by this pair than by most politicians. Allegations, claimed sex parties, disappearances, and cheating rumors. Their relationship has never been tidy. However, this was uncharted territory. The potential that Tiny had been living two lives for years: emotional betrayal and marriage fraud. Then the purported text messages appeared. Jaguar always says that just before a fight breaks out, I got them from someone close to the family. A communication between Tiny and a contact saved as M was displayed in the messages. Read art. At first, the texts were subtle. I already miss you. It grew darker, yet I still wish you were home. I located the documents. He is experiencing hallucinations. The house phone should not be answered. I'll see you at the studio at 2. The fans stopped. The timestamps coincided exactly with the chronology of a highly publicized dispute that took place between Ted Da and Tiny that same week. A video of T hollering outside their Atlanta house went viral, sparking a confrontation. The parts of the puzzle matched too well to be a coincidence. Within hours, Jaguar's videos were shared on celebrity gossip websites such as Hollywood Unlocked and The Neighborhood Talk with the title, Jaguar Wright Strikes Again. Tiny's hidden husband was revealed. A battleground was created by the remarks. Tiny was defended by those who referred to Jaguar as a resentful storyteller. Others believed it all to be true. This woman has previously been correct. According to one user, the FBI visited Diddy's home weeks after she called him out. However, it wasn't Jaguar's remarks that were the most startling. They were motivated by emotion. Her voice was not one of rage. She sounded worn out. She responded, "They made me the villain. However, I am merely revealing to you what they attempted to conceal." Tiny was free from a poisonous marriage. She was living two lives. She then displayed the picture. It's a grainy photo, but it's clear enough to identify Tiny in a white dress, standing next to a man in a suit beneath a red rose-filled gazebo. The date stamp on the picture said April 9th, 2017. Tiny posted on Instagram that she was at her mother's birthday celebration that same weekend. The internet evaporated. Supporters wanted explanations. Bloggers went live. YouTube was flooded with reaction videos called Tiny's Secret Wedding, an old clip of Candy Burris humorously stating, "Tiny always got a surprise up her sleeve," was even leaked. Suddenly, the clip stopped feeling like a joke. The reaction was immediate. Tiny's comment section became a battlefield. Fans showered her with wedding presents and ring emojis. Meanwhile, "Stay Strong King" and "She Did You Dirty Bro" were all over Ted One's most recent motivating message. Even famous people began to comment. Tokyo Tony went live and declared it karma season. Tamar Braxton tweeted, "Chili, I need popcorn for this one." Tiny remained silent the entire time. No answer, no declaration, not even a denial. Simply the kind of silence that amplifies rumors. However, this is where T's situation began to go south. An alleged Grand Hustle insider claims that the ICE rapper was aware that something was wrong from the beginning. For months, he had been hearing murmurs. It seems that some of his closest friends forewarned him that Tiny was having an affair, but they never anticipated it would go this bad. When I confronted Tiny about it last year, one even said, "You believe everything you hear on the blogs. That line aged like milk." Reporters were camped outside the Harris residence by the time Jaguar's video reached 1 million views. Tiny's PR team reportedly declined to comment when TMZ contacted them. But according to insiders, I had a breakdown. When Tart's crew removed all recent photos of Tiny from his Instagram within a day, fans immediately noticed. One remark read, "This man erasing history." Another neighbor told local TV, "I heard shouting. It sounded bad." He kept saying, "You shame me," over and over. Another person added, "He's finished acting." And then came the voice memo. Jaguar posted a second clip, a tearful recording of what she claimed was T.I. on the phone with a friend saying, "I lost everything, my quiet, my wife, and my money." It didn't matter if it was fake or real. The internet took it at face value, in a way that fans weren't accustomed to hearing from T. The emotion in that voice was unadulterated, shattered, and nearly human. People started making assumptions about the meaning of things. Did the couple's recent bankruptcy rumors stem from Tiny's purported second marriage? Had she moved assets to the new husband's name in order to shield funds from legal action? Every hour, the theories became more outrageous. Someone even shared that a property connected to a shell corporation registered in Tiny's name was held by her secret husband. Then, as though a scandal god had written the screenplay, an anonymous Reddit user posted a thread with the headline, "I worked for Tiny's team in 2018. Ask me anything." It received thousands of responses in a matter of minutes. According to the user, Tiny frequently referred to Marcus as "my piece" and maintained a secret phone for him. On business travels, they agreed, she would sneak out to meet him in Nashville under a pseudonym. The post featured screenshots of purported hotel reservations and travel confirmations. The fans went crazy. Hip-hop and love are no longer the same thing. According to one commenter, "This is Lifetime movie behavior." That's precisely what set this controversy apart. It was more than simply a rumor about infidelity. It was proof, timetable, and structure. Each leak, voicemail, and screenshot fit together too neatly to be written off as rumors. Jaguar, meanwhile, was enjoying the mayhem. On another live, she added, "They said I was crazy." Crazy has proof though. Overnight, her fan base doubled. Additionally, she teased a portion. "Wait until I show you the honeymoon pictures. If you think this is awful." Ted I's world was falling apart by now. Every blog was portraying the man who had built his business on family togetherness, fatherhood, and loyalty as a fool. He was seen staring at his phone in a meme that went viral with the tagline, "When your wife got a whole other husband." The Shade Room even retweeted it. And it's official gossip gospel once it's on the Shade Room. Tea with friends nearby. I supposedly told reporters that he was concentrating on keeping his children safe, wasn't eating, and wasn't going anywhere. However, everyone knew in their hearts that this was about pride, the loss of power, the betrayal, and the public humiliation. Everything blew up in the morning. Ted's group attempted to limit the harm. However, a scandal this profound cannot be spun. Not when voice notes, wedding documents, and screenshots are spreading like wildfire. The hashtag #TinyMarriedAgain was trending globally by morning. Everyone was being tagged by fans. Toya Johnson, Monica, Candy, and Xcape all demanded that someone speak out. Everyone, however, remained mute out of fear of being pulled into the digital fire that Jaguar Wright had started. T.I eventually spoke up after that. He went live at 12 hours. His voice was cracked. His face appeared exhausted, and he began with a sentence that took everyone by surprise. "You guys assume you know my life. You're not ignorant. No management script. No PR filter. Just ego-wrapped misery." He discussed loyalty, treachery, and how the people you surround yourself with can destroy your home from the inside out. It felt like there was an open wound in every line. He answered, "I'd seen lies before. However, this isn't your typical rumor. Someone is attempting to bury me out here." Then he stopped, lowered his gaze, and muttered, "They may have done so already." It was a powerful moment. It sounded like a million phones recording simultaneously. Some weren't buying it though, as fans showered the comments with heartbreak and sobbing emojis. "He's faking it." Fans weren't the only ones who turned against him though. One tweeted, "Where was this emotion when he embarrassed her on national TV?" While another added, Now you know how she felt all those years. And that was the industry. Messages leaked by anonymous insiders implied that T.I.'s breakdown was motivated more by money than by sadness. Tiny reportedly gave her other husbands, whom she had mentioned months prior, a piece of their business interests. According to the twist, the action prevented those assets from being confiscated in a legal battle that was still going on with one of T.Y.'s previous businesses. Was this covert union a failed financial scheme or an affair? According to a purported insider, Tiny was attempting to conceal the fact that I had been careless with business funds. Jaguar didn't believe that she needed to move strategically. That evening, she went live once more, asserting that she had evidence that the second marriage was based on love rather than commerce. You ain't got to hide no more. He already ruined his part. Let's start fresh. She played a garbled tape of a man, purportedly Marcus Fielding, stating this in the clip. Fans felt that the sound sounded real. Some slowed it down, improved the sound quality, and compared the voice to Marcus's previous interviews during his time as a little security guard. It was an uncomfortable match. Y'all still think I'm lying, Jaguar said as he concluded the live stream, and the internet went into meltdown mode in a matter of seconds. The story had changed. This was more than just a case of betrayal. It concerned Tiny's purported discovery of love within her own marriage. In the meantime, Tiki began acting differently. According to reports, he stopped attending meetings, cancelled public appearances, and unfollowed half of his industry acquaintances. One producer told a blog, "Tips has been quiet. It's not like him. He's usually all bark and energy. Now he's just gone." The same source said that I was almost ready to file for divorce, but I wanted to get ahead of the story first, which in the world of the producer means turning the scandal into content. What does a rapper do then, when his marriage publicly collapses? He visits the studio. Word quickly got out that I had scheduled late-night recording sessions in Atlanta, where he was allegedly working on his most intimate effort to date. Additionally, fans remarked that the album ought to be titled Paper Trails. She wed a different man, but there was suffering beneath the humor. One purported family acquaintance claimed that Ted had discovered Tiny's hidden marriage was more than a passing romance. They had been in contact for years. Tiny apparently turned to Marcus as an emotional release if her marriage became too boisterous. He wasn't merely a mystery. His comfort zone was him. Naturally, Jaguar made everything worse. She began to list names. She said, "Ask Candy how long she knew." During one live, "Ask Monica, who made the hotel reservation, what Tiny told Tamer about that trip to Vegas. Room." Every word was a grenade. All of her friends' circles were suddenly targeted. Social media investigators started comparing flight logs, vacation pictures, and clothes. It turned into a virtual crime scene. A financial trail then emerged as a fresh detail. One of Tiny's company accounts was allegedly accessible to Marcus Fielding, her second spouse. According to an anonymous email posted to a gossip blog, Tiny's business paid Marcus LLC more than $180,000 over the course of 2 years. "Follow the money" is the email's subject line. Everything changed after this realization. Was Tiny using Marcus as a front to safeguard her wealth? Or was Marcus using Tiny for financial gain? In any case, did I appear to be the last to find out? He had defended Tiny for years, referring to her as the queen, the mother of his children, and the foundation of his empire. He was now portrayed on the internet as the blind spouse who lost to the lady he had built his business around. The memes continued to appear. Expeditiously betrayed. Another post that went popular wrote, "To spent years giving lectures about women's roles. Now his thing though was when Jaguar said what she referred to as the final straw." I captioned it, "I told you to mind your business, bro." A 3-in-Ute film, purportedly capturing Tiny and Marcus at a Miami private dinner. It appeared to be a private space. Tiny was wearing the same jewelry she wore on her anniversary post with T, holding his hand and giggling. Although the footage wasn't clear enough to be verified, there was no denying the likeness. Everything quickly took a turn for the worst after that. The T.I.'s page was inundated with prayers, up remarks from fans. Negotiations for a new contract were apparently halted by his label. Even the collaboration was put on hold while it was reviewed by one of the sponsors. The scandal has financial undertones in addition to emotional ones. His whole brand was in jeopardy. Jaguar, meanwhile, was stoking the flames. She claimed that he believed he was the king of the South in one especially brutal live. She is the queen of stratagem, it turns out. Millions of people saw the video once it became viral. It was quoted like a line from a movie. The queen of strategy began to gain popularity. Tiny used her silence as a weapon, and it was effective. A big outlet eventually spoke with a source close to Tiny a few days later. They asserted that Tiny was contesting the legitimacy of the marriage, rather than rejecting it. She was stating that it wasn't official, not that it didn't happen. The fans were shocked by one quote alone. Even so, what did that mean? Was there a weakness? An annulment in secret? But Ty had no interest in explanations. People close to him claimed that he wasn't upset, but he reportedly stopped returning Tiny's calls and told his staff, "I'm done cleaning up her messes." He was shattered. His entire reputation was based on his family, and now it was disintegrating in the eyes of the public. That week, Jaguar's last post summed everything up. "The truth don't care who it hurts. They call me crazy. Now they call me right." She captioned it with a rose emoji, the same flower from the alleged wedding photo. Fans swore she was taunting Tiny, and that's where it reached a breaking point. Lawyers got involved. PR teams went into overdrive. Anonymous sources began threatening lawsuits. But the internet doesn't forget. Every deleted video was reposted 100 times. Every denial was drowned out by memes and mockery. The story had grown beyond gossip. It was now a full-blown cultural moment. Late-night hosts joked about it. Podcasts dissected it. Even mainstream news covered it as one of the wildest celebrity scandals of the year. And as the chaos peaked, one thing became clear. I wasn't just fighting for his marriage anymore. He was fighting for his reputation, his money, and his sanity. Because what was coming next wasn't just exposure. It was collapse. By the time week 2 hit, the story had stopped being just gossip. It was survival. Lawsuits were flying, NDAs were leaking, and everyone close to the Harris family was running for cover. Ty had gone from king of the South to the most pitted man on social media. And Tiny, once the unbothered queen of R&B royalty, had become the internet's most mysterious villain. And in the center of it all stood Jaguar Wright, the chaos conductor herself, sipping tea on Instagram Live like she just brought down an empire. TMZ confirmed that lawyers were now involved on both sides. Sources claimed, "I filed a petition for truth disclosure, demanding a forensic audit of Tiny's finances and her alleged ties to Marcus Fielding." One insider called it a PR war disguised as a divorce. Another said, I wasn't ready to file for divorce yet. He wanted to humiliate her first. And if there's one thing, that I knows how to do, it's turn pain into performance." Within days, he released a new song called Everything I Built. The lyrics were venom. Gave you the world. You gave him the keys. You wore my ring, now you hiding receipts. The track hit streaming platforms at midnight and instantly went viral. Fans called it his best diss track since What You Know, but others weren't impressed. So now he's profiting off heartbreak. One fan wrote, "Classic T did our behavior. When you lose control, create music." Meanwhile, Jaguar wasn't done. She went live again, this time claiming she had messages between Tiny and a high-profile Atlanta attorney, allegedly planning how to seal her second marriage records. "Y'all thought I was done." "No, I'm just warming up," she responded with her signature smirk. Then she revealed a blurry copy of a text message that said, Make sure nothing links me to Marcus. I can't find out yet. Whether it was real or not didn't matter. Perception became reality. By now, every outlet had joined the feeding frenzy. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, On-Site, and even Daily Mail ran headlines hinting at a fraudulent second marriage scandal rocking Atlanta's elite. TV talk shows brought on body language experts to analyze Tiny's silence. Some said she looked remorseful. Others claimed she looked relieved. One viral comment said it best: "Tiny ain't hiding. After living a life of faking, she is recovering." However, behind the scenes, the effect was more severe than anyone had anticipated. An insider claiming to be employed at Grand Hustle Records stated that some business investors had begun to withdraw, saying they don't want to be associated with family drama. He also lost sponsors. He lost deals. This isn't merely rumors. This amounts to millions. T.I.'s empire was crumbling one rumor at a time, and as if that wasn't enough, an alleged recording surfaced, this time from a former assistant who claimed to have backstage footage from one of Tiny's shows. The clip supposedly caught Tiny on a call, saying, "I told Marcus, we can't do this no more. He's keeping an eye on everything." The voice sounded like Tiny's. The tone was serious. And the line, "He's watching everything," made it sound like T, that I had been onto her for a long time. The internet analyzed every frame as if it were a crime scene. Jaguar, ever the instigator, reposted the video with the caption, "When the Queen forgets who's really watching." It got 500,000 likes in 6 hours. Ted's team tried to clap back, calling Jaguar a desperate clout chaser. But fans weren't convinced. Too many things lined up, too many timelines made sense. Even old interviews, where Tiny joked about needing space, started circulating again, now seen as foreshadowing. This been going on for years. One fan wrote, "She didn't cheat. She got away." After weeks of speculation, Marcus Fielding finally made an appearance, and it was the most explosive moment of all. The man at the center of the chaos posted a mysterious video on Instagram while wearing a hoodie and sunglasses, saying, "There's a lot being said about me. Some true, some twisted, but one thing I'll never do is disrespect love." He smirked and said, "You'll find out soon enough," before concluding the video. The internet lost its mind. Was that a confession, a threat, a teaser? T.I. reportedly lost it. According to one blog, he called his lawyer at 2 a.m., demanding to know what kind of case could be filed for marriage defamation. Another insider said he'd started recording phone calls and instructing his PR team to track down every person spreading rumors. But it was too late. The story wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was entertainment. Talk shows were parodying it. Memes of Marcus and Tiny flooded TikTok. A clip of T.I. looking frustrated during a podcast interview went viral with a caption, "When your wife got a side husband," and the internet's laughing. Even other celebrities began throwing shade. Boozy Badass said on Live, "See, that's what happened when you let your girlfriend hang with them Hollywood girls." As in 2 marriages, Snoop Dogg said, "You can't spell Tiny without T." Through it all, Tiny remained silent. No posts, no statements, just one cryptic Instagram story, a black screen with the words, "Truth don't require explaining." That alone reignited every conspiracy theory. Fans said she was playing chess while everyone else played checkers. She's quiet because she's in control. One tweet said, "This ain't a scandal, it's strategy." Then came the curveball. Reports surfaced that Tiny's alleged second marriage might not be secret after all, but spiritual. According to someone claiming to be Marcus' cousin, the two had a private vow exchange in a spiritual ceremony, not a legal one. They called it a union of peace. The cousin said it wasn't about papers. It was about protection. That statement threw the internet into chaos again. If it wasn't legal, Did that mean Tiny didn't cheat? Or was this just a cover story to calm things down? T that I didn't care about technicalities. The damage was done. In one heartbreaking clip that leaked from his studio session, he could be heard saying, "She made me fight the world for her, and she hid in another one." That single line spread like wildfire. It became the quote of the month. Fans stitched it into TikToks. Podcast replayed it, and the media called it the most honest thing T.I. has ever said. And then, just when everyone thought the dust was settling, Jaguar came back for her final act. She posted a 10-second teaser video, titled The File. It showed her scrolling through a folder on her computer labeled Tiny Marriage Proof. At the end, she winked and said, "I told y'all part 2 drops soon." That clip alone reignited everything. The comment section exploded with speculation. She got more. She about to end careers again. Jaguar don't rest. She reloads. Within hours, Tiny's lawyer released a statement warning of legal action for defamation and digital harassment. But it was too late. The narrative was gone. Fans weren't waiting for statements. They were waiting for the file. The scandal had done what years of music and TV couldn't. It made the Harris name viral again, but not for the right reasons. Brands pulled away. Ted Wise endorsements dried up. Tiny's TV deals were quietly reconsidered. One insider summed it up best. They built their fame on love and loyalty. Now the same words destroyed them. By the end of the month, T.I. and Tiny were reportedly living apart. Paparazzi caught him at a hotel in Atlanta, looking disheveled, while Tiny was seen boarding a flight to Miami, allegedly to clear her head. The couple's rep called it a temporary separation, but everyone knew what that meant. And yet, through all the chaos, Jaguar Wright thrived. She gained hundreds of thousands of new followers, sponsorship deals, and even teased a documentary title receipts, the truth they tried to bury. In her final live about the situation, she said, "You can't hide forever. Truth was given a timer." Then she looked straight into the camera and whispered, "Tick-tock small." That line became a cultural catchphrase overnight. TikTok Tiny memes.